Dude, I thought that was a Hungry Burger alt art. That would have been so cool, but I think it's a new card. Okay, so we have Chef the Nouvelle, which is a light fiend. Does that matter at all? Let's find out. Are Nouvelles locked at any point? Or can they? Bro, we're gonna be making Requiem until the end of time. Pendulum scale 0. You can only use the first and second pendulum effect once per turn each. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can add a Nouvelle card from your deck to your hand, except the pendulum monster. If a monster is special to your opponent's field, you can special summon this card. I mean, this is already phenomenal. It's already just a searcher. You cannot activate the first and second effect of this card's name in the same chain. Once per turn, quick effect, target an effect monster on the field, increase its level by up to 3. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can banish a recipe ritual spell from your hand, deck, or graveyard, apply that card's activation effect that ritual summons. If this card on the field is tributed and added to the extra deck face up, you can place it in your pendulum zone. That's a lot of effects. The relevant ones here being, during your main phase, you can add. Then when your opponent plays, you special summon it. And then you can perform a ritual summon if your opponent summons again. Which, for that, I don't actually have enough context. I don't know how relevant it is in Nouvelles specifically to ritual summon on your opponent's turn. Oh yeah, targeting your own stuff is also good, I think, in Nouvelles, right? That seems like a very good card for Nouvelles. But the thing is, my only experience for Nouvelles, or with Nouvelles, is that one event in Master Duel where they basically forced you to play it. So we'll see if that's good enough. But it seems pretty good for Nouvelles. And like, Nouvelles isn't like a terrible archetype. It has some good cards. Angry Burger. Level 6 Dark Warrior Ritual Effect monster. This card is always treated as Hungry Burger. Ooh, I like this way to retrain cards, actually. Like, when they make an archetype that requires you to play an old card, I always hate that because old cards are often bad. Like how technically, even in the Yubel deck, it's not great to draw the Yubel unless you want to make Phantom right away. This card, this little phrase here makes it so you don't have to play the old Hungry Burger anymore, but you still get the synergies with it, which is nice. You can ritual summon this card with a recipe card. You can only use each of the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, add a Nouvelle monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do shuffle this card into the deck, ooh, it's basically Illusion of Chaos, but for Nouvelle. Monsters your opponent controls that can attack must attack this card. Quick effect, you contribute an attack position monster on either field, and if you do, special summon a Hungry Burger with 2000 attack from your hand or deck. Okay, so it's basically the effects on the field are not that good for this card. I don't think like this card is the reason why you don't play Hungry Burger anymore. Or I don't think they played it to begin with, but they skipped on some synergies because of it, right? So I don't think you're ever going to use the third effect. The second effect is sometimes annoying, I'm sure. But the relevant part here is basically you can play a Hungry Burger now that actually has a relevant consistency effect, right? So that's nice. Because I'm pretty sure some of the cards for Nouvelles had like a bonus effect if Hungry Burger was on the field or if you summoned Hungry Burger or whatever, right? The thing you have to realize is you cannot actually play 3 of this card and Hungry Burger in the same deck because it's always treated as Hungry Burger, right? This is the same as like Legendary Ocean, right? So you can't actually even put both in the same deck because they're technically the same card in terms of the rules, I think. So you cannot play 6 copies. At least, unless I'm mixing it up, but I think this is the same way with like the Umi or like some of the Harpy ladies. So if you want to play the OG Hungry Burger, you'd have to cut this card down, which I don't think anyone wants to do, right? You don't want to play 2 copies of this to fit 1 Hungry Burger. We have the recipe book here, continuous spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. While you control a Nouvelle monster card, all face-up monsters your opponent controls are changed to attack position. Ooh, that matters. If I remember correctly, during that Nouvelle event, it was like one technique how you would play around Nouvelle, because something was like tribute attack position monsters or something. So you could play around it because like stuff in defense was way harder to out for the deck. Each time a monster is tributed by a ritual effect, your opponent pays 850 life points. That is a very specific number. Why is it 850? Once per turn, if you special summon a ritual monster, except during the damage step, you can target one of them, add a recipe or Nouvelle card from your deck to your hand, except the continuous spell, and if you do, increase that monster's level by 1. Okay, this card is neat. It's definitely the worst card out of the 3 here, because it's not something that helps you get started in a ritual deck, which is ritual decks tend to be a little bit bricky, so every consistency piece is good and relevant. This helps you extend. Basically, if you can already play, it's really nice to get a free search once per turn. The life points here could be relevant. I don't know exactly why it's 850. And then the first effect is very nice for Nouvelle as well. I don't know if this is like a 3-of or if it's a 1-of because you can somehow search it. Because this one searches monsters. This one adds Nouvelle cards, so this one could just add it. So you might not play 3 of it because it's not a starter. It's a reference for the yen cost of the burger. Okay, so they just made the burger, but it's still, at the end of the day, that still means it's an arbitrary number, right? Because they could have made it more expensive or cheaper in that, right? Like, but yes, okay, sure. Why didn't they make it? Why didn't they make it $7.99? That would have been funnier. Imagine you do this 10 times and your opponent just has 10 life points left. Anyways, not a bad batch of cards for Nouvelle here. I have my little bit of doubts that this is going to be good enough to make the deck viable, because it feels like at the end of the day, it's still Nouvelle, and it doesn't really change how the deck interacts with the opponent. It does change a little bit because you can now pendulum ritual summon on the opponent's turn with it, which is neat. So, yeah. 850 yen is 5 euros and 25 cents. So what you're saying is, when they localize these cards to the TCG, you think this translates to different amounts in different countries? Like, you play this card in Germany, it sucks because your opponent just has to pay 5 life points. But if you play it like somewhere where their currency is like a lot, like they just have bigger numbers for their currency, is like they have to pay 16,000 life points. That'd be interesting. Interesting card. All of a sudden it's like broken somewhere in the world because like their currency just works differently, and it's just a freaking FTK all of a sudden. It's like pay 2 million life points. Get ready for the season pass characters for Vanquish Soul. All right, Vanquish Soul Holy Sue. Ooh, level 5 Earth Psychic. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn, and cannot activate more than one in the same chain. During the main phase, quick effect, you can reveal one other Vanquish Soul monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand. Quick effect, you can activate one of these effects by revealing monsters' listed attributes. Earth and Dark, take control of a monster your opponent controls with the lowest attack, your choice, until the end phase. Fire Dark, special one non-psychic Vanquish Soul monster from your deck. Okay, so this one is potentially very interesting because it can be a consistency card. It's not guaranteed to be a consistency card because you need a fire in hand already to be able to search Raisin. But this card is basically Vanquish Soul. What was the other? Yugioh? No. No, it's not Jiaolong, is it? Is it Jiaolong? The level 5 fire? Oh, it was Jiaolong. Okay. It's basically Jiaolong, but better, right? because it's Jiaolong that can get you access to any Vanquish Soul, plus it's a more powerful disruption on the opponent's turn. So let's say you open this alongside an Earth and a Dark on the opponent's turn, you can just summon it out and steal your opponent's monster, right? Like that's very good. That's very good. This is a very, very strong card, and it is situational. It requires you to draw specific attributes, but that's a good balancing. I think that this is a very good card. Vanquish Soul rocks. Yes, it does. Rank 4 Dark Pyro. Materials 2+ level 4 Vanquish Souls. Once per turn, if a Vanquish Soul monster battled this turn, you can also XC summon Vanquish Soul rocks by using a Vanquish Soul monster or a rock of the Vanquisher you control. If a Vanquish Soul battled this turn, okay. Gains the following effects based on the attributes of its attached materials. Dark, all monsters your opponent controls lose 800. Fire, monsters you control gain 1000. Earth, you can detach a material to destroy a card. Okay. This is less good than the first card, for sure. It's a nice little bonus. It's a nice little bonus to just be able to rank up something into this, and then it just gives you a pop or multiple effects as well. If you make it on top of the Rock of the Vanquisher, that is a dark monster, right? So you would only gain the all monsters lose 800, which is not that good. It can make Zeus in the deck if you, but then you still have to have a Vanquish Soul Xyz that battled. It's all right. It's all right. And then we have Vanquish Soul Start. Okay, if this is not a starter, I'm going to be pissed. You can only use the first, second, and third effect once per turn. You can target a Vanquish Soul monster you control, add a Vanquish Soul monster with a diff. Oh my god, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect, dude. That means Mad Love can search Raisin now because it's called Vanquish Soul. Oh, that's so good, man. Oh, that's so cool. Mad Love is now Raisin. If a Vanquish Soul monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can reveal a Vanquish in your hand instead. Oh, it's a continuous card too. A field spell. During your end phase, if you control 2 or more Vanquish Soul monsters, you can set a Vanquish Soul trap from your deck. Huh? So once per turn, we're getting a Vanquish Soul search for free. We have protection for Vanquish Souls. And we get a free trap in the end phase? Oh, I love that, dude. I love that. It's very broken. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very broken. But it's for an archetype that I like. So it's fine. You know? That's how it works. That's how it works. If the broken card is for a deck that I like, is good. No, but for real though, this is a good card. This is also a very good card. This is very good support for Vanquish Soul. The thing is, Vanquish Soul is still Vanquish Soul. So like, it's not gonna be that big of a problem. It's good cards for a very balanced archetype, I think. I like this. This feels like it could make Vanquish Soul relevant, which is something I definitely want. Yeah, this is definitely based. I like this. Okay, nice. We have more Lunalight support, or what? Lunalight support. Moonlight Gold Leo, level 4 Dark Beast Warrior, 600 attack, 1600 defense. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can add a Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. If a Lunalight monster is sent to your graveyard while this card is on the field, you can target one of them, add it to your hand. That is the most convoluted Stratos I've ever seen. Because you can go add a Lunalight, discard a Lunalight, and then add that Lunalight back to your hand. Right? Like, okay, sure. It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's definitely good. Lunalight Silverhound. Level 3 Dark Beast Warrior. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon a Lunalight monster from your deck, except Lunalight Silverhound. And if you do, you cannot special from the extra deck while you control that monster, except Lunalight monsters. When a spell, trap card, or effect is activated on the field, you can banish this card and a Lunalight fusion from your grave, negate the activation. That's broken. That also makes this one a lot better, right? Because you can search this one, discard it immediately, and then that. So spell trap negate on top is kind of busted. The thing is, it does do something for Lunalights that I actually really appreciate, which is it kind of wants you to play Lunalight fusions, which if I'm thinking of the way Lunalight has been played previously, they played like no fusions at all. It was just like an Xyz and Link spam strategy, right? So them actually incentivizing you to go back to the original fusion strategy of Lunalight, I think is cool. Then there are new fusion monsters here as well. We've got Lunalight Liger Dancer, level 12 Dark Beast, Lunalight Leo Dancer, plus 3 Lunalight monsters. Must be fusion summoned with the above material, unaffected by non-Lunalight cards. Can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, quick effect. You can send a Lunalight from your extra deck to the grave. Destroy all opponent's special summoned monsters. Wait, that's a pretty relevant towers monster, right? Because it's 3.8, so you can't beat over it even with Chaos Angel. And it's like, it can prevent your opponent of going for something like Goddess, right? Because it destroys all your opponent's monsters once. So if your opponent has enough monsters to make Goddess, you just pop it. That's pretty scary, actually. It seems very hard to summon, just on paper, but we'll see how easy that actually might be. Lunalight Perfume Dancer, level 6. You can only use the first, second, and third effect once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can add Lunalight Perfume from your deck to your hand. Okay. What is the materials on it? It doesn't say the materials. You can target one other Lunalight card you control, return it to the hand or extra deck, then you can special a Lunalight from your hand. Banish this card from your grave. This turn, your opponent's monsters your opponent control will lose attack equal to their own defense. Any 2 Lunalights, okay. Lunalight Masquerade. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can send a Lunalight from your deck to your grave. If you fusion summon a Lunalight monster, you can add a poly from your grave or banishment to your hand, then you can discard a card. And if you do, once this turn, if you fusion summon a Lunalight, you can also use monsters in your graveyard by banishing them. Okay, that seems like a good card too. Yeah, I have a hard time imagining Lunalight in like a pure version that isn't what I'm used to with Lunalights. It's always like a spam rank 4s type deck. These cards definitely would make, if I was a Lunalight player, which currently I'm not, so I'm not an expert on this, but like if I was into the Lunalight archetype, I would probably want to go more fusion heavy with these. These seem like great payoffs for the more fusion-based Lunalight strategy. How good exactly that's going to be remains to be seen. I mean, this card is good in no matter what version of Lunalight you play. Like, this just makes it so you can easier search like Lunalight Tiger. You can get like the Yellow Martin in the graveyard, which is really good. So this seems like a solid wave of support, I think. Overall, all the things they've announced today, it's solid, right? Am I the only one that feels like these waves of legacy support feel better than average? All of them? There's like no wave here today that I'm like, this kind of sucks. It's all good, right? I can't fully evaluate how good exactly and which of them like is meta relevant and which one might end up not being that good, but they're all like They're all like good waves, right? The legacy support has definitely increased in quality, I feel like, over the last couple of sets. Interesting. Definitely interesting. All right, back to work. There's a GX pack announced as well. All right, not back to work. Hold up, what is that? 3 classic GX Season 1 cards revealed. Maiden in Love. Oh, isn't that... What was the girl's name that played the Love archetype? The one... She was like... Blair, yeah. Level 2 light spellcaster. Opponent's monsters that can attack this card must attack it. Cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card battles an opponent's monster, you can activate one of these effects, place a maiden counter, or take control. That's pretty accurate to what it did in the anime, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it did. Maybe exactly. Not a good card, but... You know? Eucalyptus Mole. Level 3 Earth Plant effect. You can only use the first and second ones per turn each. If this card's normal or special, you can special a level 4 or lower beast monster from your deck in face-up defense. Wait, that's pretty good, isn't it? That has a lot of potential. If this card is normal or special, you can special a level 4 or lower beast from your deck in face-up defense. Then if this card is in face, it's face down. Oh! It's face down? Is the translation wrong? It's face down because of like Death Koala. It would make sense, right? If it was face down. I will say if it's face up, this is a potentially really good card. But if it is actually, if it's face down, it's obviously bad. If it's face down, it obviously sucks. But, okay, well, we'll hold off on this. We'll hold off on this because it might be wrong, the translation. We got a trap here, Soul Union, normal trap card. You can only activate one with this card's name per turn. Target a face-up monster on the field and an elemental hero in your grave. That monster on the field gains attack. If you have an elemental hero normal in your grave, you can fusion summon. Okay, yeah, no shot. This is relevant. Okay, so this is just anime. Okay, if this summons face down, all of these cards are bad. Enough said.